Hello and welcome to my YouTube channel. If you're regular here, you know I review many photographic, audio and video related products. Well, today we're taking a look at a lens that I recently purchased. It's actually not a new model. It's been around for, quite a number of years. Actually September 2012 when Fuji released this lens, and it is the Fujifilm, or Fujinon as it says on the lens, XF14mm lens, and here it is fitted to my XS10, and I'm loving this lens. I love wide angle lenses. This is 14mm, which is equivalent to around about 24, 25 on, that's a bit less than that actually, about 21 on a full frame sensor. I put in the video actually what it actually is, because of a crop factor you've got to times it by 1.5 to get the 35mm equivalent focal range. So it's a moderately wide angle, but not too wide that you get distortion on the edges and lines bending and all that sort of malarkey. But it's a great lens. Obviously comes with this plastic, very plastic, fantastic lens hood. Yeah, great lens. Build quality is phenomenal, as you would expect from Fujifilm. I think pretty much all their lenses are very well built. It's not weather sealed, so there is no weather sealing gasket on the lens, so just be a little bit careful if you're taking it out into the snow, heavy rain, sandstorms, anything like that. I don't intend to, but it is beautifully made. It's a nice weight to it. It's not light, but it's not heavy either. It's a really nice lens. With the Fuji XS10, because of the in-body image stabilization in the camera, you can go to really slow shutter speeds. I'll show you on the computer in just a moment. So the lens construction is excellent. It's got a really good focus ring. It is a prime lens, so it's not a zoom lens. It's got a really nice focus ring, and it doesn't move when you're in autofocus, which is really good. I mean, I found that a little bit disconcerting at first. I thought it was stuck, but of course when you're in autofocus, the lens is really snappy and snaps into focus really quick. Although it isn't a new lens, it's not one of the fastest in autofocus because of the age of the lens and the focus motors, but it's still more than adequate. It's really pretty good. But what I like about it, if you want to use manual focus, it's got a clutch. So you basically pull the clutch back, or pull the focus lever back. Now you're into manual focus, and you get all your normal focus aids, which you're not going to see, focus peaking and whatever on the screen or in the viewfinder if you're using the viewfinder. And it's got quite a short throw, so you're not forever turning and turning the ring to get your focus. And I find that really good. I mean, obviously just push it forward to get it back to autofocus. So you don't have to fiddle with switches or going into the menu. It is purely a clutch-based system, which is, really good. And a lot of the Olympus Pro lenses use exactly the same principle, where you just use pull the clutch back and you're in manual focus. Also, what's nice about Fuji lenses, or the XF Fuji lenses, is the manual aperture ring. And that's denoted by the letter R in the lens. The R denotes that it has got a manual aperture ring. That's around the right close to the body of the mount. So, it's really good. You can just turn that to set your aperture, and that's really great for old school photographers that don't really want to use the dials on the camera. You can do, because the XS10 has both got the dial on the front and a control dial on the back, so you can use either or. And for that purpose, there is an A on the lens to set it to automatic, so you can use the controls on the body, or you can use the control on the lens. I actually like to use, if I'm in aperture priority, which I do use a lot, I like to use the lens control, and that is, it's clickable as well. So you might hear that. It clicks as you adjust the aperture. It is, as I say, 14mm, so it is relatively wide, and it produces really nice sharp images. For a lens that's quite old, for the X mount system, as they came out in 2012, you're going to get sharp images even at the widest. It goes as wide as 2.8, so it's not you know, mega wide, but it's still good for low light. And because of the image stabilization in both the X-T4, the XS10, the XH1, you're going to be fine there. There is no image stabilization in the lens, so be conscious of that if you're using it on something like the X-T30, the X-T3, the X-T20, whatever. You have to just be a little bit conscious of your shutter speeds, but you don't when you're using it with the XS10. So it's great, and I say build quality is fantastic. Now, as far as image quality is concerned, you really aren't going to have any issues with any of the Fuji prime lenses or even their zoom lenses. They're all great image quality, and this one has no exception. Sharp edge to edge, sensor sharpness is excellent. I mean, I have no idea which image to pick up, so let's have a quick look at this one. Now here we are. Look, I mean, look at the sharpness across there. Is very, very nice, very, very good. The colours, the contrast, it's quite a contrasty lens, but not too contrasty. But yeah, really, really nice colours, nice sharpness. It's really just overall a really nice lens. The program I'm playing with here, or not playing with, I've purchased, is Capture One. It's a little bit more expensive than Lightroom, but I'm really enjoying the features that Capture One has. There will be a link to download the trial version. I highly recommend that you download the trial version. I encourage you to download the trial version and have a play with Capture One. It's got all the things that Lightroom would have, but I find some of them actually easier to use than what Lightroom are. As a quick example, let's say this image here, you can go into this color wheel here, which is basically your white balance settings, and under curve you can choose, if you're using a Fujifilm camera, you can choose any of their simulations, film simulations, which are also in the camera body. But this is great if you're shooting RAW, so you can actually choose the different simulations straight in Capture One. So if you fancy to turn that into Fuji monochrome or classic negative, here are some nice black and white ones. Great bit of software. It's again very much like Lightroom. You can organize your images, edit your images, export them and do everything that you would want to do in Lightroom, but you can do it here in Capture One. I really like it. So I say there will be a link in the description to download the trial version, and I encourage anyone to do that. I've actually purchased it, but anyway, let's go back to these images. Now again, if you look at being able to shoot with slow shutter speeds, now that train was moving at a very, it's just pulled out of station, so it wasn't going particularly fast, but I was able to do that, I think about 1/10 of a second, something like that. Where are we? Yeah, 1/13 of a second. So, hand holding with the XS10 and a lens like the XF14mm lens, the rest of it is pretty sharp. You can still get a really nice sharp image, even at 1/13 of a second. And there's quite a few images that I've done, like that, at those really slow shutter speeds, Now, again here, this one here has been edited. I've chosen a black and white profile. That's how it was. Again, look at this in Capture One. It's great that you can just look at how it was before and how it is when I've edited it. So, lovely bit of software. Really enjoying using it. But yeah, again, nice sharp images. Now that was shot at what's that? 1/15. Oh, that was 1/85 of a second. 1/85 of a second. So yeah, that's not particularly slow, but there are some here which are quite a bit slower than that. I mean, for example, that one was, again, that's unedited, that's edited, and that again is what are we looking at here? 1/20th of a second. So nice and sharp. Look how sharp her jacket is. Really powerful, really strong. So this combination of lens and body is great for doing street photography, great for landscapes, great for architecture, and like I was doing, just, you know, general day-to-day sort of photography. You can do it all with this combination, this body and this lens. You know, it's a great combination. But this lens works with any of the X mount, obviously, bodies. And I do, as I said earlier, I do love the manual aperture ring. That is really good. Just feels great, just feels really, really good. The lens is plastic, as I said earlier, plastic fantastic, but it does a job. Comes with a lens cap. So there we go. There's not really much more I can say about the XF14mm. There will be a link to my Flickr page, so you can have a look at these samples. Some are unedited, some are edited. So I say that now. And they've all been edited, if they have been edited, in Capture One, because as I say, it's a program that I'm really enjoying using. And have a look at those, see what you think. There's also a sample gallery from the Fuji XS10, so you can have a look at those as well. I find that the images on Flickr are going to be much better for you to look at than on the YouTube video because of YouTube's compression. So yeah, highly recommended lens for the Fuji X mount. It's not particularly expensive, and you know, it's a great lens. There will also be a link to my Amazon affiliate page where you can actually order, you know, all this sort of stuff. I do earn a wee bit of commission from Amazon for any orders that are placed, but you don't charge, you don't pay any more. And Amazon have got a really strong returns policy, so if you have any issues with it, you can return it straight away without any questions. So it's really good from that point of view. So yeah, there we go. The Fujifilm XF14mm R F2.8, so quite a wide aperture lens for your Fuji X mount bodies. Hope you found that useful. Oh, before I finish, I am experimenting also with my Panasonic G9 again. I've got the 56mm Sigma lens fitted to it, and that's just filming this shot here. So I may or may not use some of that. I'm looking at it on the monitor here. Looks pretty good, looks sharp enough. That's what I'm experimenting with, is the new 2.4 firmware update to see if it does hold the focus. And there's a lot of people saying it does, and there's some that saying it doesn't seem to be any better. So I want to find out for myself. So that's why I'm using that as well. So there we go. Hope you found this useful. Please subscribe. Let's try that bit again. Hope you found this useful. Please subscribe to my channel if you haven't already done so, and hit the like button if you find my content really, really helpful. I enjoy making these videos. They're great fun to do. And I enjoy the comments that I'm getting. And if you want to treat me to a coffee, there is a link, another link in the description below to where you can treat me to a coffee. That'd be really helpful. That helps me keep the channel running as well. So thanks very much for watching, and enjoy the channel. Cheers for now. Bye.